how are you? Welcome to game 3 as I turn off this music. And we get right on into the draft. We've got game 3, winner go home. And it's No Bounty Hunter versus 20-minute AFK less, aka the Seneko stack. And we've got Witch Doctor, Marana, Spirit Breaker, and Wisp, Night Stalker from 20-minute Seneko stack.
Right, you're going to have to let me talk about this draft because I'm a very big fan of a lot of these heroes. And I've got a lot I want to say. You ready? So, how the hell have No Bounty Hunter not banned out Wisp yet? This is the 3rd game in a row they've let it through. Obviously, game 1 didn't go too well, but I don't think that was the Wisp's issue. I think it was more of a core issue with them not being able to push. Witch Doctor Marana, very good. Witch Doctor, if he gets that Maledict onto the Wisp, can stop some of the healing coming out from the bottle, like I mentioned before. And Marana, again, we've talked about this. When you have second pick, you pick one of these versatile cores in the laning stage, it's very much better off for you in terms of looking up to set up towards your last pick. Night Stalker in return from Seneko stack, very good with the Wisp. Laning stage and the gets covered by the Wisp. They kind of cover each other's weaknesses. And then the Night Stalker covers the Wisp's weakness of moving around the map in terms of movement speed, good ganking potential, good setups with the Void into the Silence for IO to relocate somebody else in. But I'm a big fan of Spirit Breaker, by the way. I'm a huge fan of this hero, especially against Night Stalker. They're picking heroes too fast, Speak Up. I can't talk quick enough. What's happening?
Talk faster. Go. You got this.
So you get the night vision talent on Spirit Breaker at level 10. Very good against the Night Stalker. And it's very good at picking off the Wisp in these fights as well. If you just charge in, nether striking, you need to burst that Wisp down at the start of the fight. Disruptor by Seneko stack. Very good for them as well. Obviously, you can glimpse people back into a static storm. Good setup for a relocate as well. So they have lots of different ways of setting up now. Bit of a weak laning support, which might be a bit of an issue for them against these strong supports in the Spirit Breaker and the Witch Doctor, but we'll have to see. Can also glimpse back the Spirit Breaker as well. Spectre from No Bounty Hunter. I think because there's these two greedy supports, I think they can actually get away with the Spectre. But I think as soon as Seneko stack see that they've picked up this greedy position 1, they pick up the Alchemist for themselves. So what's going to happen now is they're just going to amp up the tempo of this game so quickly to try and fight at a point where Spectre's not going to have enough farm and Alchemist's going to be like 5. Spectre's probably going to have like 1, maybe 2 items, and Alchemist's just going to start hitting your tier 3s, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, I still can't fight. What do I do?
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, I'm done, B-Cup. That's it.
All right. Prepare for stupid B-Cup question number 1. This is more of just a joke than anything.
Dire team pick.
Okay.
Ag's Tether to the Alchemist.
No, it doesn't work.
Then you just dish out the Ags like a guy at a strip club with the dollar bills. You just like Ags.
Can you imagine if the OS frogs on that, if that was a thing, by the way?
If that was
that's a bug
like that, yeah, bug.
It's actually out position 1. Okay, this is interesting. So I think No Bounty Hunter need to pick something here that can really pressure this enemy safe lane. Because Disruptor's not a strong lane support, so they need to be able to pressure this out.
5 seconds.
Probably put like a Spirit Breaker +1 in the off lane. Could even be Marana still. Not sure, but Arise has been playing that mid most of the time for a No Bounty Hunter.
Alchemist
and I like this last...
So quickly, like, does Spectre have a problem because she's one of those slow farmers?
Yes. The tempo of the game is completely different. Spectre really wants to just drag the game out as much as he can because he's one of those super late game carries, isn't he? That we see go for the Radiants, you know, those late game butterflies with the dispersion talent at level 25. You do so much damage, and when you're so tanky, it's really difficult to bring you down. But this Alchemist is going to be looking at that 20-25 minute mark with when he's pretty stacked. They're going to look to fight around this DP ult to help them push, which I think was one of their main issues with their draft in their first 4 picks. They didn't have any tower or objective takers, which we saw was a problem for them in game 1. So they pick up the DP to cover that, and I think their drafts, apart from the laning stage maybe being a little weak with the Night Stalker and the Disruptor, I think it looks pretty solid for Seneko stack.
No Bounty Hunter onto this last pick. Very interested to see what they go with. As is it Marana offlane or Marana mid? That's the question.
I think they need to pick some kind of just hard lane pressure. If they want to put the Marana in the off lane, that's fine. But your base damage isn't very much to pressure the Alk at the start of the game. It's a little bit risky. And No Bounty Hunter, I really hope they don't try lane here. Because if they try lane and leave that Alk to farm in the safe lane in a 2 versus 1, they are in trouble. They will lose the game. I'll put that on the table right now. I really hope they adjust it this time. Wow.
Now select your
Okay.
heroes.
So Mirana is in the offlane.
Are they going to do a cheeky swap here and put the Bone 7 on the Razor in the offlane? I'm just watching. Because that's still a possibility, I would say. I think that would throw a real curveball up the Seneko stack. They could still just put the Razor mid against the DP, though. It's still a decent matchup. Because the DP really wants to get in your face to use the Spirit Siphon to trade harass, but when the Link comes back the other way from the Razor, the DP just has to leg it. You don't want to be trading harass when you're under the effect of the Link from the Razor.
Trying to think. Does Seneko still go with that Ag's tether?
Yes, definitely. It's really good with the Night Stalker. Because you just tether out the Night Stalker and he has all that vision around him at night time that you can see. And it means the Axe is one of those items on Night Stalker which you really don't want to have to buy. Like, you kind of want to build all those other utility items like the Crims and the Pipe and such. So the fact you're saving yourself 4,200 gold by having a Wisp on your team, giving you the Axe itself, it's super valuable. And he has an Alk on his team which could give it to him eventually too. It's a bit of anti-synergy coming out from the Alk and the Wisp.
Yeah, I feel like that Alk is not going to be giving up Ags that quickly. I think he's mainly here to just farm and get himself set. I don't think this is one of those games where you're really buying Ags like that for everybody until like super ultra late game if you get there.
Yeah, he might buy an Axe for the Disruptor after it gets 6 slotted, but
yeah.
Apart from that, I don't really see it. But Disruptor is a very good Alk acronyms game, or hero. There is an Orb of Venom, the Spirit Breaker as well, and it looks like they're going tri-lane with the Razor. This is oh no, sorry, Razor's just hanging around for the rune. Okay,
I was gonna hold you to
so he's
your
not gonna get the block off in the mid lane, which is might be a bit of an issue. Actually, DP's doing the same. Something we see a little bit more of. We used to see so much emphasis on making sure you block in this mid lane, but I guess when you have the Alk in the game, you really want these early bounty runes.
Yeah, you're going to want to try and maybe get 3, but I don't even know if that's going to happen. You'll probably just get away with possibly just 1.
They'll probably get the 2 in the bot lane.
Flo is able to get this other one.
It's
gotta be careful.
I'd be very surprised if they got either of these bot runes on the Radiant. 3 versus 2, and one of them's a Spectre.
Oh! Actually bashes him out of the way of the arrow. That was okay. And Akeem goes 2 for 2.
That's the anti-synergy that we talked about before. Different side of it though.
Oh my god. That was it was just a literal 1 bash. You don't expect it. Pushed him right out of the way of the arrow. Had it pushed him into the arrow, I'd be going nuts right now.
Alk looks to be moving towards the mid lane here, and if you see what Spectre's pinged out already, he drew a circle on the map, so he's telling the Razor to go back mid. And telling the Mirana to come back top again. And there you go, they're moving already. And so is Alk actually moving all the way to the bot lane against the Spectre? Looks like he is.
Seems to be the plan.
So Disruptor's getting the farm in the top lane. Carry Disruptor now, guys.
Well, that's always the plan.
They need to make sure they get the right laning set up here. And if you can put this Alk against the Spectre, he's in a very good position, this Alk. There's no real worry about him dying in this bot lane.
Yeah, maybe a lucky cask or something, but he for the most part, I would say he's safe.
And the thing is, because they've walked all the way down here now, they don't have to worry about TPs, because they could just swap and TP themselves back again.
The question is, how many times are they going to go about doing that? Because I've seen it in games where teams swap 2, 3, 4 times until they get it right. Until people just are like, all right, that's enough. I'm staying.
This game especially, the Razor doesn't mind though, because he's okay going against all 3 of the cores from the Seneko stack side. Doesn't care about Night Stalker, Alk, or DP. He has a good matchup against all of them, which is why it was such a good last pick from them. So it doesn't matter too much for the Radiant side on No Bounty Hunter.
There's Akeem just running through the jungle. Really, no harm, no foul, and charge comes out. There's the bash. Got the kinetic field. Blocks Arise away. But
5 seconds till charge.
Akeem is... I almost want to say might get this kill, but he doesn't want to go under the tower. So, for now at least, Velhor is fine.
Link top lane as well, just to keep the Night Stalker out. This mid lane's a bit of a rough one though for Bone 7. DP has so much more base damage than Morana to work with. Looking at an extra 18, I think it is. Yeah.
Did Bone 7 ever mid? I feel like it's also, you know, not his lane to be there either.
I feel like as a core player though, you should be okay to lane in all 3 lanes. I feel like you shouldn't ever be in a position where you can only stick to your 1 lane. What's Seneko?
Yeah, Seneko in a lot of trouble. The Maledict is quite painful and will be enough damage to get the kill. First blood goes the way of Flash on the side of no bounty hunter. So
good kill by them, especially in a Spectre lane. Like, that doesn't normally happen.
Well, he was the only one I think they would get. I don't think Arc is in much trouble with going down if you've got the lockdown. Seneko kind of let himself stay a little bit too low, and he ended up paying the price for it as this cast continually coming out onto Seneko as well as Arc.
You see Seneko started stacking this big camp on the side as well, just to try and get that out some extra farm when he hits a good level 4 or 5. Maybe even 6 just for the Chemical Rage. And I'm interested to see what kind of Alc we see, because some teams like going for that classic with the Radiance, with the Manta and such. But other teams really like to go for that fighting Alchemist build. I know Ramses is one especially that goes for like the Solar Crest.
Charge up the stun, and we'll throw it at this Witch Doctor. Again, nothing.
There's a charge coming out onto the Wisp. Oh, it got cancelled. Sorry.
It still says he's charging.
Oh, he is still charging, yeah. I thought there would be a thing, an icon just above the Wisp's skills.
There was, over the Wisp himself.
Oh yeah, over his head, I know, but I thought there'd be like a debuff on him as well. I didn't realise there wasn't for the charge. Akim might just come and slay the Snakeo though, with the hasting.
Got the tether to the creeps, the stun comes out from Arc, stops the charge, and now Faye thinking about going in. Seneko again, just sitting very low, not really in a spot he wants to be in.
This is the right play to make as a Spirit Breaker though, or as in this game especially. You just want to run at the Alc over and over again as much as you can, because he's the main issue for you this game. If you shut down this Alc at the start, you stop so many problems for yourself.
Velhor, one shot from dead, and they end up getting the kill. You take a look at the Wisp. He falls as well. Seneko and Velhor fall. Arc gets the kill on Akeem, and then over mid, Bone 7 falls to Magical.
Wow, that's a solo kill by the DP, I think, right there. That's really not good in a 1v1 situation there for Bone 7. He's pretty far behind the DP now. About 1,000 gold. Wow. It's really not where you want to be.
Yeah, it's, you know, more kills for no bounty hunter, but with the way Death Prophet's doing and the way Alchemist is, you know, just an Alchemist. Seems as though things are relatively okay, and they'll send the Night Stalker over with Seneko towards mid to maybe try and go in again on the Bone 7.
He has a point in silence, actually. He's gone for 1-1-2 build on Night Stalker, so that's a really good kill potential here.
Oh, kinetic field as well as the Void. There's the Crypt Swarm. They will end up getting the kill, and Bone 7 falling again.
Alchemist almost died there to the Razor and the Maledict combo, but does TP to the Shrine. Manages to heal up, and it looks like he's just going to get away there. Pretty close, though.
Really do like what Seneko Stack is doing as they find Akeem. They'll throw the Void out. Flow just hitting away at Akeem, and really does not care as he's got Void up again in just a moment.
Spectre doesn't have TP for 15 seconds.
Yeah, Spectre is without a TP. There's the kinetic field. Not going to lock in Faye. The charge will come out onto Seneko, but I don't think this is going to save the life of Faye as one more shot comes in from Flo to get the kill. They send over the Alchemist, and they'll give him the last hit.
Oh, that extra value, getting the Grievel's goal, Grievel's Grieve goal for the kill.
Wow, that is exactly what you want if you're Arc.
So he's going for the Radiance on the Alk. Got it queued up. But this Razor's actually not doing too bad in terms of keeping up with the Alk, considering he has Grievous Greed to work with. Oh, mid lane again, Bone 7.
Fear. There's just no way out. There's the Crypt Swarm to get the kill. They'll send over the Witch Doctor. He'll throw the cast, bounces to the creeps. Now they will cover Dark Team. They've also got the Exorcism. Spirit Siphon on 2 of these heroes. They'll take out the Spirit Breaker. Nobody dead on the side of Seneko stack. I mean, even with the Maledict, it's just not doing anything to Magical. And they are up 7-3, 2,000 net worth lead for them. And does it surprise you at all that nerf after nerf after nerf comes out on a Night Stalker and he's still valid?
The problem is, hang on, I'll just let this happen first. Magical does go down. Okay, so the problem with Night Stalker is the way they're nerfing the hero. It doesn't hurt the hero at night time at all. All they've done is hurt his laning stage, which when it gets to this first night time, he's still the same hero. Like, it doesn't make a difference to him at all. The movement speed nerf wasn't that nice for him, but whatever, he doesn't really care. He still wins the game for you in the first and second night time. He does exactly the same thing as he did before. You can nerf him as much as you want in the laning stage, but he's still going to get picked for what he does best, which is that first and second night.
Once he gets past that, he's fine. As stun charged up, they're looking for a target. Can he find anybody? The answer is no.
This stack in the top lane as well, I love that Akim's testing this. He doesn't want to give this away for free. And you see a Rise moving around up the hill as well.
Cast comes out onto the Disruptor. They've got the charge coming through as well. Arise is here. The Spirits will come through from Seneko. Eventually, though, will die. Like you said, they're
as long
just
as Alchemist doesn't
contest the stacks.
Look at them, they're just hunting the Alk constantly the whole time. They're not giving him absolutely any space at all.
That's a problem when he's able to just continue to move on forward, and he ends up dying to Magical, but still, that's a death given out, and Ark is just able to continue farming it. He's got a lot of golems here to give him that extra chunk of gold.
I'd like to see some deeper wards from No Bounty Hunter, just to try and deal with this Alchemist. You don't have to just run at him over and over again, just kill him. Find him out at these key points when he's alone, when the Wisp isn't with him. If you put one on the dire bottom jungle, somewhere just to scout him out farming there, and put one deep in here. Can you see me ping?
Team is got the charge onto Seneko, ends up getting the kill as the Haunt comes out from Faye. The stun charged up by the Alchemist, and nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, aka Ark, at the moment with the stun. The chase onto Faye, but there's not nearly enough damage to break through that. Not only the health of Spectre, but the heal of Witch Doctor.
My only worry is that because Night Stalker's been running around this first night time, there's going to be a bounty rune fight first.
Oh boy, Witch Doctor in a lot of trouble. Bounty rune, they'll take it. Worth more than the kill.
Yeah, they pick up 3 bounty runes as well. Flo in this bot lane just picked up 2. That's going to help the Alk so much. Whoa. Picks up like 250 gold for each one.
So Exorcism used bottom. That'll grab the tier 1 tower. So you were asking me if I could see your ping. Ping out? Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, so they need to put a ward in this bot area somewhere, like here or something, to see the Alk jungling, and then they need to put one here too, just to see this deep jungle. It's no good just pressuring the Alk if you're not stopping him from farming in the first place.
Charge comes out onto this Death Prophet, as well as the arrow to follow it up. Another bash. Can he get one more? Not gonna matter. Bone 7 gets the kill on a Magical, and it's a pretty big one on the Death Prophet.
Honestly though, as a DP, the best time to die is when you don't have your ult up. So it's bad.
Arise. A little bit of trouble. The silence, the void, the stun. And they're still chasing. They don't have the kill just yet, but they've got Velhar here with the glimpse, as well as the kinetic field into the static storm. Flo will get the kill onto Arise. Ulti out on the Flo. Seneko here with the save. The charge is stunned up. Akeem, you got to be careful because the kinetic field is here to lock in as well. And the acid spray with the damage to Ark. He'll get another one. He's 3-0-2. And Ark basically has this Radiance.
Alright, B-Cup, I've got a question for you. I think this proves your point from before. If you're coming into this point now and you're no bounty hunter, it's coming to the 12-minute mark and it's getting to night time. Which hero from Seneko stack are you most scared of?
The Wisp?
This Night Stalker dude. Come on, man. Tests with B-Cop, you're not passing.
I answer wrong on purpose. I didn't study.
The thing is, look at his net worth, though. And he's still the most terrifying hero at this point in the game. For the next 4 minutes. This is why the hero's still picked up.
Bone 7 in a lot of trouble. There's the crippling Fear the Void. And then the kill for Magical.
He has Phase Boots Bracer, and he's just running around the map doing whatever the hell he wants for the next 4 minutes. What a hero.
Yeah, actually, too good right now. And it's 3,000 net worth lead for the side of 20 minute or less AFK. And Flow spots a rise. Get the Void as well as Crippling Fear, the relocate. They'll bring in Seneko as well as Magical. The glimpse into the Static Storm. Now the Haunt comes through. They'll try and clean up as the side of 20-minute AFK try to run. The cast bounce is very deep for Akeem to get the charge. Bouncing and bouncing and bouncing during the night. Flow is out, but Velhor probably not as fortunate. Although this is a fast little disruptor. Seneko's here. There's the charge, and now you lose both those heroes.
Do you see what Seneko just did?
And now Magical falls, so 3 heroes just died there.
Seneko just popped the soul ring, so he was on 1 HP. He went in range of the dispersion and just died instantly. That was amazing. God damn.
That's why they play for the big bucks, and I sit at home.
Casting.
Plays like that. So the Radiance is picked up by Arc. I'm going into the Manta next. Is this what you think?
This is a big timing. That 12-13 minutes is where you really want to be getting the Radiance.
Comes back on a Bone 7, but he'll leap out. The charge comes through, but it's not going to land as they've got the Void, the arrow. Ooh. Splitting between everybody on the side of Seneko stack.
I mean, this vision from the Night Stalker is nice, and it's one of the reasons you pick the heroes, but it's not the main one. Like, the main reason I've talked to some players like, do you know Mad Kings?
Yeah.
Players like this. I've talked to them before and said, or heard them talk about it, sorry, I haven't talked to them directly, but I've heard them say that the reason you pick it is just because this. Look at him again. He's just running at them, like non-stop.
Yeah,
just this first and second night time is so important, especially when you have an ALK that you want to create space for.
He's really just doing a lot to disrupt this entire game. And there's nothing that really is there to stop him as the ulti comes through. The arrow's going to miss, and Araz is going to continue to chase. He's got the static link. He'll get the kill on Seneko. 5 heroes here. So they should be able to at least get Flow. They'll throw the ulti just to make sure, and they finally do stop him. But that took you all 5 heroes. If they get Magical, I think it's worth it, but...
There's no TP on Magical.
Yeah, it's still quite a chase. First hit bash, that's always fun. There's the Yule's Arc is here, and they're also going to send the Disruptor over. This could turn into trouble for No Bounty Hunter if they get caught in the Static Storm. That's going to be 1 hero caught. Akeem will fall. Arise getting a little bit low. Arc has to run away as he's getting a little bit low on health, but he's charging up the stun. We'll see what he's able to get. His glimpse back is going to be Arise back into the trees. Arc, oh yeah. Seneko's actually the one who gets the kill. No extra Grievous Greed.
They're going for the +1.
They've also got the relocate. They'll look for Flash. They'll get the kill. Seneko also gets that one. Double kill for your Wisp. And it looked like Arc was going to have to back off, but he was able to just get a couple of pickoffs there. They'll also get the tier 1 top, it seems. Oh. Whew. Those arrows have been close every single time.
Yeah, he feels like he keeps just missing them, though, like every single time. It's unfortunate. And this is the good bit about the Dire Arc as well. Do you see where he is at the moment? If you put the acid spray up on that hill, you can hit both camps at once. And especially when one of them's a small camp, it's super valuable. You just clear through them so quickly and get that Grievous Greed gold.
Faye with the Yasha. Not going into the Diffusal Blade. Are you surprised to see first item Manta style?
He has to do it against the Night Stalker silence. That's the main issue. The only way he dies this game, really, is if he gets silenced by the Night Stalker. Otherwise, he can just run away, I feel, with the dagger.
Yeah, 8-second silence at night is rough. Very heroic.
It's pretty deadly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower
It is daytime now, though, so I expect Seneko stack to just put their, take their foot off the gas for a little while. They do have darkness up if they want to make a play, but
was about to say the same thing. They do have Darkness, and Flo has been doing the opposite of taking his foot off the pedal. And there it is. Darkness into the Crippling Fear, as well as the Void. And right after they pop Darkness, they get a kill. And it goes to Magical, who had a couple of deaths that maybe he would like back, but with 6 kills, 6, 4, and 4, going to the Solar Crest with the Yules already. And he could be pretty happy about where he stands at the moment.
Another Moonlight Shadow, though. Arc might actually die here.
Yeah, they've got the ulti. Did that push him into the arrow? I believe it did, and yeah, they'll take out Arc. So it does, again, take everything to try and get this kill, but they've got to lose nothing on the return. That's what's going to make it worth it. You need the glimpse back, and there it is onto Akeem. He tries the TP out, not going to find it. Let's go back into daytime and finds the charge. Wow.
They kind of just walked past the Spirit Breaker and tried to go be greedy and go for the extra +1 kill, but
yeah,
unfortunately that Spirit Breaker is a lot more tanky than you think.
If they just glimpsed him immediately, I think you get the kill there, but obviously he went far, went for the glimpse on a second to get 2, but you end up finding none.
I've got to be honest, I'd like to see the Spirit Breaker as the position 5 here instead of the position 4. I feel like the Witch Doctor is going to scale better with items. I know that the Spirit Breaker probably wants a Vessel at some point, but it's good against the DP and the Alk, obviously, but after that point, I feel like he should transition into the position 5 and let the Witch Doctor get some items. Like, Spirit Breaker doesn't need too many items to be effective, I feel like.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker just needs to be effective with, I would believe, his ulti and his charge. Just find the right positioning. He doesn't... I like the Spirit Vessel, but after that point, just give it to Witch Doctor. Let him get the farm.
Any item you get after that is nice, but it's not essential.
Yeah. The Spirit
like something like a
great.
BKB might be nice, or... The main problem is he doesn't have a GPM talent, though. Kind of just plays that initiation, purely.
Bone 7 with Akeem are going to spot this stack here. They might want the Razor to try and take that out. Giving that up to Arc is a lot of gold. He's almost got his BKB. He's got the Radiance as
the
well.
Razor doesn't take that very quickly, though. That's the problem. And I think Snake Stack realised something's happening.
Let's take a look. The Static Storm is laid down with Kinetic Field, but it's not going to land on anybody as Arc trying to find that stun with half a second left. Just gets it out onto a Rise. Now they've got the Yules coming through on a flash with the Exorcism. Another stun thrown his way. And it's a double kill for Magical. They just popped the Exorcism. Right in a Roche you go.
This is a fantastic build-up by the Death Prophet as well. Oh.
Velhor taken out, but Kinetic Field, there's the stun. Crippling Fear. It's daytime. It's only 3 seconds, but that's all they need to get this. And again, you get a kill back in a Roche. Actually,
I really like the emphasis that DP's put. I really like the emphasis that DP's put on getting a medallion this game. I think I just noticed Night Stalker's picked one up as well, so not too sure about the double medallion, but one of them will probably get a Solar Crest and the other one will keep it as just a medallion. It's super good at taking Roche. They have the Acid Spray as well. They have the DP ult to work with, and like you said, they could have gone into the Roche there, but unfortunately the DP Exorcism was just about to end, so didn't want to take the risk.
Witch Doctor again, just flash caught out. The arrow does land full duration onto Arc, but really not a big
This
deal.
Night Stalker's doing so much work for so little net worth that he has.
Yeah,
Level
just the
10.
medallion. And he's gonna go into the Crimson Guard next, and then the Solar Crest.
Oh, bot lane.
He's gonna be killed off. Magical running away from the Spirit Breaker and the rest of the side of No Bounty Hunter, but now No Bounty Hunter is the team on the run. Is Flo and Seneko are coming over. There's the charge away. Is that even far enough? It's nighttime. Flo's on the chase. He wants the kill into Akeem, and he should be able to find it. Yeah, the Void comes out. There's Crippling Fear, and that is a level 1 Crippling Fear, so it's only 5 seconds silence, but that is so much gold.
Yeah, Spectre does have the Manta now as well, so can escape from that silence, which is nice for him, but again, he really needs that Diffusal so they can actually take fights at this point. And when he gets that Diffusal Blade, look at the Alp's net worth. Look what he has. He's just picked up his own BKB, so how do they fight into him anymore? Alp's just going to run at you. He has the Unstable Concoction cooldown talent at level 10.
Snako gets the kill on the Bone 7 over towards top as he gets caught all by himself again. Flo at night. I mean, he's involved in 16 of the 23 kills the team has. It's just... he hasn't really stopped all game. 21 minutes in, and I don't think he's really let off the gas.
No, they've just been on the foot on the gas the whole game, it feels like. And I feel like they can just move into Roche without worry too much because it's this 4v5. They have Exorcism up if they want to use it. There's no reason not to. You might as well just take the objective while you can. Just wait for the reset of the Exorcism cooldown. and just go. And I think this will be their time to try and their first big power spike, I would say, with this Aegis.
Got the Aegis, but look again, Flow. Immediately wants to chase. They'll find the glimpse, and that's on a rise. It's a 5-second silence, as well as the Void Crypt Swarm thrown. It's actually a 6-second silence now that it's level 2.
I really don't like this Yules on Razor. I think if he's building a BKB as a second item, why has he built the Yules in the first place? Like, the movement speed's nice. It's nice to use somebody up in the air after you've used your link, but you don't do anything unless you link somebody. You're so reliant on that link for damage now. Like, what's the point in building the Yules to take off a silence when you're building a BKB second anyway?
Yeah. An Arc going into the Octarine Core. Do you think at that point, Octarine Core, maybe he goes one more item, or are we going to see, you know, maybe another item before he possibly gives out an axe?
He has 2 slots to fill still. So, I know one of them has an Aegis at the moment, but in 5 minutes' time, it's not necessarily going to be there.
Charge out on the Arc. They do have Haunt.
They need to protect this out. He's in trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble. Throws down the Acid Spray coming over his Flow. Flow's going to start with the Void, but right into the hands of Ryzen Faye. And Flow might bite it here, but as I say that on the backlines, look at this team. There's a big silence coming out from the Death Prophet, but they've already killed off Senego as well as this Night Stalker. And this popped on Magical. Static Storm's going to be used. Belor falls. Akeem trying to stay alive. The Static Storm will finally ping him out, and now they've got themselves the Stun on the Bone 7. It's going to be a second. They look over at the Witch Doctor, who's silenced up again. It's a 2v3 at the moment. The chase is on with the Spirit Siphon as well as the Crypt Swarm. It'll get the kill. The cast bouncing around on 2 of these heroes. They're still trying to keep Arc alive. Arise is here, taking all his damage away, but throws the stun. Now the Yules comes out, and Faye gets the kill. Just Magical is alive. And finally, No Bounty Hunter kind of finds something. They give up a little bit to get all that. But still, it's about 2,000 net worth in their favor that they desperately need.
Yeah, Arc made a really bad decision, I think, in that fight. Just before his Aegis went down, he popped the Chemical Rage. And so he just lost it straight away. So when he came back up again, he just didn't have the Chemical Rage available. I think he would have been absolutely fine that fight. He probably just would have killed them both. But yeah, that was a bit of a misplay, unfortunately. And they didn't fight around their DP Exorcism again. They've just tried to take a fight without their big ult cooldown.
Haunt comes out. Cask is here. Also got the Diffusal Blade, so it's just Faye. Now they're starting to string together a couple of kills. It's a 4x kill streak. That's a lot of gold going to Faye. I know you have to deal with the 18,000 net worth of the Alchemist, but once he's off the board, the rest of the team isn't that hard for No Bounty Hunter to handle.
At the 10-minute mark, I'd say you kind of want an extra 50% on the enemy carrier's net worth. At like 16, 17 minutes, you probably want to be doubling their net worth. And by 25 minutes, you really want to be holding that doubling the net worth of the enemy carry. And they've made a few mistakes in a row now, and the Spectre's been allowed to catch up into the game, which is really going to help No Bounty Hunter.
Just trying to grab these bounty runes. Take a look at how much Alchemist's gold jumps. They grab themselves 2 bounty runes.
Senego scouting the Witch Doctor here with his last ball. It's just going to miss him, unfortunately. Top lane on Flow as well.
Yeah, they're looking for Flow. They've got a couple heroes here, but here's the relocate of Arc. Senego Magical comes in, and they've got the stun again. 1-2. Bone 7 on Akeem both drop as they take out Flow. It's the relocate that helps out Arc and Senego to get these 2 kills and not just give up Flow like that. Magical's also there, and Alchemist 500 gold away from okay, never mind, he has it.
I love that Bone 7 just leaps on top of the Spirit Breaker so they both get stunned instead of just Bone 7 getting stunned. That's, if I'm going down, you're going down with me, teammate. What a moment.
Yeah, he could get an assist on that kill.
You just have to make sure they don't give away anything unnecessarily again now. When you're playing this Alc strat, you need to make sure you keep ahead. Make sure you don't allow the Spectre to come back into the game. And it feels like after losing that Aegis, they've kind of lost their big first power spike that I was talking about. But they have to try and keep up the pressure.
I didn't realize that Arc switched from the Octarine Core to the Shivas. He picked up the Mystic Staff, and I was just like, oh, I guess he's going Octarine Core. And I didn't realize that he had picked up Shivas instead. But stun charged up. Charge comes in. 2.5 seconds. Pops the BKB. Now it's over. Bone 7 who pops the BKB of his own. Got the glimpse back onto Arise. Charging up the stun one more time. And It's actually avoided by Arise with the rest of the team coming in. There's the leap on forward with the Haunt coming through. They look over at Velhor. This is going to be the Spectre getting at least one. They continue on forward. The BKB pop by Arise. The arrow hits, and Arc is dead again. Godlike here for Faye, just jumping around from illusion to illusion to illusion. Magical and Flo trying to make something happen with Seneko on the high ground. He gets charged up. First hit bash comes out from Akeem. Does tether all the way over to Flo, but right into the hands of Faye. Seneko might fall. They'll give up the Witch Doctor, but this could be 4, maybe 5. That's going to be 4. That's going to be 5. Full team wipe for No Bounty Hunter, and they're only 2,000 net worth behind of an Alchemist team. They've really brought it back.
There is a certain item that Spirit Breaker just picked up that completely changed that fight, which is the Spirit Vessel. And when you're playing against a Wisp, an Alchemist, and a Death Prophet, probably the most valuable Spirit Vessel game you'll ever see in your life. And this game is looking very bad now for Seneko Stack. They haven't used the momentum from this Alchemist enough. When he walked into that fight, he popped his BKB super early, and he just didn't get anything done with it. They kited out the BKB really well, and he managed to dodge the Nether Strike from the Spirit Breaker before the animation finished. But the charge just came out afterwards, and they ran him down, and he stood no chance.
And No Bounty Hunter, despite where the Alchemist's net worth stands, again, your Spectre's gotten to this point where Diffusal, Nullifier, Mantis style, going for the Butterfly next, in a really good spot is Faye.
Yeah.
On top
like
of
the
which...
the DP and the Alch felt so disjointed in that fight as well.
Yeah.
Like they were just in different places. If they were focusing on the same targets, they would have had a much better chance in that fight. Maybe just a little bit of lack of communication.
Yeah, it seemed like the Death Prophet came in through the back a little bit too late. Alchemist was already in trouble. They might have just wanted to back off that fight, but then they fully commit and they end up losing everything.
I think, and you were talking about the Shivas on the Alch before. I think that is the right choice, though. He needs an armor item, which is
I did think he'd gone to the Octarine.
They tried to pop the Darkness there to catch somebody with the glimpse from the Disruptor, but unfortunately nobody was there to show.
So 5 heroes here from the Seneko stack.
Razor just have his BKB now as well, so looking pretty good for a rise. Spect has a Nullifier.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this Death Prophet's game just got 10 times harder.
They have Haunt, and the charge is going to go all the way through to Arc. They're going to start with the Haunt. Look over at Faye, gets hit with the Void, but now he moves even further as he jumps to another illusion, jumps back to another illusion. Static Storm comes out onto Spectre illusion, as well as the ult from Akeem. They look over at this Arc Alchemist as he's got the BKB. He'll have to Manta split off the stun, and Arise trying to run away. He's actually getting himself a little bit low, but 3 heroes already dead on the Seneko stack. Arise trying to just fend off this Alchemist and steals a bulk of his damage, if not all of it. Flow forced to run, the charge comes out, the stun charged up, and oh, can you find anybody? They're all under Moonlight Shadow. And Alchemist dead again, taking the 2,000 net worth lead is going to be the side of No Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, I love that the Spectre's play there. He jumps on the Wisp straight away at the start of the fight, gives vision, manages to jump between the illusions in the Haunt so he doesn't get hit by the Static Storm just before it comes out. And fantastic bit of play there by Faye. And again, the Spirit Vessel's just doing so much work. They managed to pop the Aeon Disc from the Death Prophet at the start of the fight. They're in pole position now.
So they push to the tier 3. They don't actually push any further. Flo's still looking for a pickoff, but he has to be careful. Faye's right here.
Gold for me.
Super risky. Especially when he's by himself like that. The DP's popping the Exorcism, but it's just not getting anything done in these fights. They have no way to bring down the Spectre, it feels like, at the moment.
Relocate. Started up. Bone 7. Just going to be KV and TP out.
Jeez, Bone 7. Yeah, with that MKB, he's hitting so hard now as well. You can't just ignore this Marauder in the fights anymore. She hits so hard.
I feel like you brought this up in the last series, like the first game, that Marana just kind of comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you're like, well, shit, there's a Marana in my game who's used the leap, has an extra 220 attack speed, has a Maelstrom on top of that with an MKB. I mean, that's a lot of damage coming out for that short period of time that you sometimes don't know how to deal with.
It's at that point that you hit the leap attack speed at level 15, and she's been farming away with a Maelstrom for a little while, so she gets a +1, like something like a BKB, and then, yeah, like you said, out of nowhere, it's just ridiculous.
Charge comes out, actually avoids the arrow thanks to the ulti of the Spirit Breaker, but still dead. Faye gets the kill, and I think he jumped for more. Yeah, he killed the Disruptor mid, and then he jumped back. He's so fast with these jumps.
He popped the Haunt for the Disruptor, but the fact that they get Roche with this is, if they get this Roche, I don't see how Snake Stack come back into the game. This is, you can't kill the Spectre once, never mind twice. It's like possibly one of the best Roche like Aegis carries in the game. Super hard to fight into now. As long as they play around their big cooldown B-Cop in the Horn, they'll be fine. And I said that in the game 1 when they played Void. Let's hope they can do it again.
I feel like that's kind of been your statement for the day. Fight around cooldowns, and I don't know if we've seen a game where they've all successfully done so throughout the entire game. Seems to just be...
Unfortunately not.
Hey, we don't have Chrono, but we're going to fight anyway. We lose 5, now we have Chrono again. We lose that fight because we just lost the fight.
How to tilt Mo Farah 101.
Very easily. I know the trick now.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I feels like the Dire also aren't carrying enough detection for this Moonlight Shadow. It's happened a few times now, where they kind of find somebody and they go, oh, like, we can't really see anybody anymore. Like, Disruptor's got sentries, Wisp has a Dust, which isn't even in his inventory at the moment.
Charge out bottom towards Arc. See what happens, because they kind of want to lead him with the charge into the arrow, but the stun immediately thrown at the Spirit Breaker. The arrow actually hits onto the Golem. Now the chase is on. They've got the Dust as well as Crippling Fear Void. Solar Crest. There's a stun one more time. They'll lose this Night Stalker, but on the back lines, let's take a look. As you've got Bone 7 going down to Velhor as he's stuck in the Static Storm, but over top, meanwhile, down goes your Tier 3. It's in a little bit of trouble. Magical gets his Aeon Disc popped as Arise just destroys you. And you TP'd back for no reason. The rest of the team is walking back right now.
It's a Cloud9 reincarnate all over again. Night Stalker's cooldowns on TP.
They've got no TPs.
Arc has no TP. Disruptor has no TP.
They've literally got no TPs. And yeah, now you look over the Alchemist. The Alchemist is he's gonna drop. He's got the BKB. He's got the Shivas. We'll see if that's gonna be enough. He still, again, doesn't have TP. You've lost your melee racks. I mean, I don't care if Arc doesn't go down, but you lose your melee racks. Nobody's able to TP back.
It's not looking great, is it? Not losing the melee racks there against this kind of lineup. Not great at all. They don't push buildings particularly quick on Spectre, Razor, and Mirana. I mean, Mirana does a bit more now, but they're not those really good building takers like we think of things like Luna, Lycan. I don't understand why the DP just TP'd in top, though, when the Spectre had a nullifier. Like, the Aeon Disc popped, and Spectre's like, alright, I'm just going to kill you anyway.
Alright, I've got a Rise here right next to me. He's going to take all your damage, swing it back at you, and you've got no answer. Your Aeon Disc is popped. You don't have a BKB yet. I mean, now you have a BKB, but I would almost say even with a BKB, you're in so much trouble, too.
If the Dire want to come back into this game, they have to fight around their vision, which is in this bottom Radiant jungle. That's their best chance of coming back into it.
I just don't understand why you're sending your Death Prophet back and nobody else has a TP.
Very questionable. It's a bit of a panic almost, isn't it? They're like, oh god, quickly save the rack. She starts TPing and goes, oh none of you have
Magical in trouble. There's the BKB pop, but whoa. The turnaround, Static Storm late on 3 with Kinetic Field. It's just not doing enough at the moment. Flow comes in behind with the Void as well as the Crippling Fear coming through onto the Spectre. The ulti thrown by this Witch Doctor. They're continuing to chase. Akeem looking for a kill on the Night Stalker as well as Arise moving in on the Death Prophet. They've lost 2 already.
Ow.
Disruptor and Night Stalker going down. You take a look over at Arc, who's got the BKB, trying to charge up the stun, throws it out. But Akeem, he's got charge in just a moment. Going to try and hold it, throws it through, and Arc is going to be dead again. 80 seconds, no buyback. They look over at Seneko, make it a 4th. GG, that's it. They know they're done. They call GG. Overwhelming an Alchemist lineup. I'm very impressed by No Bounty Hunter to take this series.
It feels like Alch lineups are similar to Drow lineups in that sense, so that as soon as you take a couple of bad fights, the game just completely turns on its head. they looked really good when they got that first Aegis on the Alk. But as soon as they just gave that away in that really stupid fight, and around the top lane, it was just so weird. Like, he popped the chemical rage just before the Aegis ran out, and ever since then, No Bounty Hunter just didn't look back, and they just carried on pushing their advantage, making sure their Spectre got bigger and bigger. And Arise, it felt like Arise tends to play those heroes that can scale well and go well into this late game. But in this game, it almost feels like he's the position 3 in that sense, where Bone 7 played this mid Mirana, and Arise was just kind of like that utility hero. And Bone 7 scaled super well when he got that Maelstrom, considering the rough start he had against the DP. It was impressive. Especially, I'd love to see Spirit Breaker win as well. What a hero.
Honestly, despite being up against an Alchemist lineup, you were only down 8,000 net worth at most. It really wasn't that bad.
I mean,
that was 8,000 net worth at 25 minutes. You're able to really withstand that kind of net worth because it's only on the Alchemist. You don't have to worry about much else. You only have to worry about Arc. And No Bounty Hunter kind of played that perfectly. They gave Spectre enough time, Bone 7 as well. And, when you get your cores, that kind of farm, when you're mainly only... at one point, you're only really worried about Magical because Arc wasn't even a problem.
Yeah, he was not really a problem at all. As soon as they lost that first Aegis, that was it. And I felt like there was a couple of times where the Death Prophet, even though she got the Exorcism with a couple of towers, she just kept giving away her life in really silly places, it felt like, as well. And I think their lack of lockdown really hurt them as well in terms of ganking the Spectre and finding them off. Because they didn't really have the ways of finding him. Like, Flo was running around the map and doing so much work on this Night Stalker. But it felt like it was only him with the Wisp that was trying to really force these fights. I can't really put my finger on it exactly, but just all these little things coming together and really hurting the 20-minute AFK list.
Yeah, so they are eliminated. No Bounty Hunter move on to fight Vega Squadron tomorrow. And we got one more series left for you guys. It's going to be Gang Squad versus Left One TV, or LOTV, and we'll be back with that in just a moment. I'm your caster, BCop, joined here by Mo Farah, at BCop92 on Twitter. He is at Mo Farah Dota. Follow us to know when we're casting, and help us reach those Twitter milestones. I'm about 850 people away from 2,000. Whoa! And we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be back in a moment.